Some time back, I had a meeting that was pretty profound. It was a meeting with a colleague of mine who was 4 years my senior. It was for an annual or semi-annual review, and at least once a year, somebody at least that much my senior needed to be the one to administer my review. So I don't even remember how I did in that review. I'm sure it went well. They almost all did. I had a couple where I screwed up pretty bad, but this one, if I recall correctly, went quite well. But what stands out the most in my mind is the fact that for the first time in my life, I was in the presence of somebody who was giving me their undivided attention, and I could feel it. I hadn't ever been made to feel so, I don't want to say important, but just valid in the moment. I just had never felt that before, and it made me a little uncomfortable because I was unfamiliar with the feeling. And she wasn't pressed for what was coming next. She wasn't thinking about what just happened. She was only interested in what I had to say to her. And it didn't hit me quite as hard in the moment, even though I recognized it. Looking back on that, that's how I now desire to read the Word and to seek my Father, is with that just complete, undivided attention. So when I listen and I wait patiently, cool things happen. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I want. I'm learning how to wait on my Father. I'm learning how to hear His voice over the other noise. It's pretty cool. So I'm kind of just new to the Bible and in the whole biblical thing, but I read through it, and then I've just kind of been guided back to certain places. And the prophets are pretty cool, I think, right? So my Father's like, hey, I want you to get to know these guys like they were your friends, like you were there with them. And so that's what I've kind of been doing in the book of Daniel lately. And it's amazing how much I can relate that back to my life. I could give you 100 examples, but I don't want to take that much of your time. I wanted to go over a couple of other photos real quick. This used to be the threshold of where I currently reside. I've been here for, it's been almost 6 years, and I've never noticed this before. It's a little 4x4 tile that's right in the center of the threshold. It's now an entrance to a bedroom, but it used to be the front entrance. And I can't believe I never noticed this before. I don't really know what it means. I just saw it today. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to look into it and see what I can find out. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. So another thing, I'm going to scroll through a couple of these real quick so I can show you this. So this is my grandma's Bible, and today I just had this feeling to pull it down. I have a whole stack of other Bibles that I look through, but this is my favorite one. For some reason, I just kind of put it on the shelf for a bit, and I needed to pull it out today. So I opened it up to the front, and this is what's inside. I thought that was really cute, right in the front there. And that's what's underneath. So this is my grandma. She got this Bible in February of 2001. She dedicated it to herself. I thought that was kind of cute. Her handwriting's about as fantastic as mine. There was one other thing in here. See, this was my first attempt at an act of obedience to the Father. And this is, it's a pretty poor design, but it was my first attempt. It's called a tzitzit, and Christ wore it to remind him that his eyes were always seeing evil. And so I made small ones, and I just kind of tied them to my belt loops, but every time I would put my hands by my waist, I would feel that, and it would remind me to seek the kingdom and to remember that what my eyes were seeing was not necessarily what I thought that it was. And then I found this. And this is kind of funny because a few months ago, life was really hectic and lots was going on. And in the parking lot of a chemotherapy office for my mother-in-law, I heard this little soft, quiet voice say, "Hey, sing that song about John the Baptist." I'm like, now? Yeah, now. Well, I had forgotten the last verse. And my mom, she was like, "Hey, she's the one that wrote the song. She's like, "Why did you forget the last verse?" It just wouldn't come to me at the time. So she had me write it down and put it in the Bible, and that's what it is. Now this example has been given to follow in the steps of the Son, laying down the ways of the world and rising up in royal blood. It's the Father's plan, John. It's the Father's plan. So that was kind of fun. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'm still kind of working on this other project. Where did it go? When I have some time where I'm just a little down, like not down, but I don't have so much going on. But looking into, what's going on in the state and other places that I have connections with, and it's just some really fun stuff. I don't think there's any huge, world-changing information that people couldn't just look at it and figure out for themselves. But it's fun. It's fun to just kind of see how everything lines up, even in the smallest, most obscure places. Anyways, I love you guys, and I hope you're all doing really well. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.